So, let me get this straight. That boarding school player went to a while ago, you mean to tell me that he was becoming an agent for iPad this whole time? Yeah, sorry we didn't tell you sooner. I mean, we were going to, after we solved this case anyway. Our discoveries made us as busy as it was, so yeah, sorry, but hey, you know now. Of course, player. I'm the Pokemon League champion. It's my right to know about these sort of things. Like it's my right to ask you why you chose player of all people. You could have chosen anyone else, but why him? Well, we needed a man on the inside. Someone native to the region, just starting off their journey. You know, the perfect candidate. Plus, he volunteered. Said he wanted to be like his older sister. But he has done well in the academy, and that's not to mention the smashing job he's been doing helping us out with these cases. He's quite talented. Gets that from you, you know? Well, I guess I can be proud of that, but all the same, I do feel a little betrayed, player, especially since you didn't tell me. It wasn't his fault, he was just following orders, and like I said, we did intend to tell you eventually. I mean, we were gonna keep this from you. But, you know, cover, classified, all that sort of stuff. Anywho, we're almost done here. Just have to wait for William to give us our info, and hopefully we can get to the bottom of this. Yeah, and find out what the heck's going on with Enzo. Ah, there he is. So, Sport, what's the scoop? Well, I've freshened up on what the situation may be, but that's the only good news I have. If I'm correct, then, well, it looks like we're in deep, deep, deep trouble. And this is something that goes far beyond that Alchemon case you guys have been working on. Well, tell us then, kid. What the heck's going on here? What's wrong with Enzo? Well, if you don't mind, ladies and gentlemen, you might want to sit down. Tell me, are you aware of the story of the Mirror Gate? I have. It's a local legend around here. Heck, it was even being told in that cathedral back in Rebelland. I'm unfamiliar. What's this story about? Allow me to explain. Many years ago, the place we know today as the Woods of Dunkel covered most of the region. There were very few settlements, one of which stood right next to what is now known as Neotropolis. The story goes that its townsfolk were very spiritual, and one day they received what they claimed was a message from God, Arceus, promising them sanctuary if he could do them one great favour. He commanded that they build a stone monolith across a river, one that was perfectly shaped so its reflection would complete the other half, forming a perfect circle. And so they did. It took them years. When they were finally complete, Arceus made another request, or so they said anyway. In order for the gate to be opened and give them sanctuary, they would require 100 men with a single common goal, and one Pokemon that was worth 100. They already had the men, they just needed to look for the Pokemon. And so they did. The Pokemon they found was claimed to be a giant phoenix of fire, theorized to be a Moltres. After their successful capture, the men brought everything together, but too late did they realize their message was not from Arceus at all. The gate opened. From it, some mysterious beasts emerged. These monsters were unknown. The men were unsure if they were even Pokemon, but today we theorize them to be Ultra Beasts due to their otherworldly nature. Whatever they were, they had tricked the humans in more ways than one. They didn't tell their captives that this requirement to open the gate was more than just gathering these pieces. It was a sacrifice. But before the men were forced to forfeit their lives, the legendary Pokemon resisted the ritual long enough to break free and close the gate, trapping the monsters in our realm. The Phoenix did not kill the monsters, though he brutally injured them. killing them would have been too easy. Instead, he cursed them, taking away their intelligence, making their minds nothing more than almost mindless beasts. And the monsters would remain that way to the end of their days. As for the Mirror Gate, as it was called, due to the way it reflected itself within the water, it still remains here to this very day, as a warning to those who may seek a false prophecy. Okay, I'm confused. What does that have to do with our scenario now? Well, Mom, if you don't mind me saying so, there was one crucial part of the story Luker did leave out. With their fading breath as their minds turned to mush, the monsters claimed that they would rise again, in a form which no man or Pokemon could predict. Human blood. And so, that's exactly what happened. 100 years later, and every 100 years since, those Pokemon have been reincarnated as humans, only to reawaken and attempt their plans once more, opening the gate. For what reasons, we're still theorizing today. Some say it's to bring more of their kind to this realm, others say it's to plunge the world into eternal darkness, and— Whoa, wait! Are you saying that Enzo is some kind of incarnation of some monster? You're kidding, right? I wish I was. If so, we wouldn't have anything to fear. But tell me, was there anything traumatizing or anything bad going on in their previous hosts' lives? Well, actually, yes, I can confirm that. Terry, a former student of Sky University, was apparently going through some troubles due to his parents having a nasty divorce. It mustn't have been pleasant. Vanessa used to be a Pokemon Guildmaster in the Cryoto region, but she was described as being a very unpleasant person. I knew I recognized her from somewhere. Regardless, she only really cared about her research, which came back to bite her once she was rejected by the Scientific Council. After that, it was downhill for her. And Enzo was going through a few health problems of his own. Being a Pokemon Elite Four member wasn't easy for him. Well, that's the trigger. Every new generation, once all four of them have passed, they'll be reincarnated as humans, and once those humans suffer from the darkness within their heart, they're fully taken over by their original personas. Unbelievable. But William, is there any way we can get them back? We can save them? Miss Elizabeth, I'm sorry, but their original personas were long taken over by the monsters. Enzo's original mind has been long since erased. Only the monster's conscience exists in his body now. Elizabeth, I am sorry. I really am. Let's just take care of this scenario before anyone else gets hurt. Agreed. William, do you know the location of the Mirror Gate now? Well, like I said, Mr. Luca, it should be somewhere on the outskirts of the city. Someplace in the Dunkel Woods? And you said the legendary Pokemon do this every 100 years. Well, that means every time they've done this so far they've failed, but who's to say that they won't succeed this time around? We have to destroy that gate once and for all. Player, you're with me. Once we're done with that, I'll call in reinforcements from iPad, see if we can take care of these 3 legendary monsters. You'll have to take it from here. I think I need a minute. Player, take care of yourself, and Luker, take care of him, or I'm coming after you. Oh, don't you worry, Miss Big Bad Champion. He'll be the one taking care of me. Come on, player, I'll own Z! Wait a minute. 3? No, that can't be right. According to the legends, there are 4 monster Pokemon. Oh great, back here once again. And at night too! It's my favorite. Love to go over the details about these woods, but I've already done so already, and we're on a schedule. So, real quick, here are the new fellas, and here are the old fellas. Feel free to catch them and or use them as fodder for training. Because I believe we're going to need it at this point. I haven't been wrong before, and I heavily doubt that I'll be wrong now. But hey, no time to waste. Let's get to that gate and destroy it before it's too late. So, this is it, eh? Wow. It does look beautiful. It is a shame we have to destroy a piece of history, but it's for the greater good. Player, bring out your Pokemon. Hit it with everything you've got. However this ends, it ends today. Wait a minute. Get down! Ugh, confounded slave. You missed! No matter. You'll get plenty of other chances. Egon? What the heck do you think you're doing, lad? You scared the heck out of us. You almost hit us! Egon? Oh, so that must have been the name of my former host. I was wondering. And he's so young, too. He must have been through a lot, considering the time I was able to reawaken from him. What? Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Not you two, kid. Not you. Egon, if you're in there, please, fight it. This being has no control over you. Silence! The person of who you speak is no longer here. I am the new and improved Egon. I am Egon, the Great One, the Grim. And you are standing upon sacred grounds. Leave or be destroyed. Is that our warning now, is it? Well fine, here's your warning. You let the original Egon come back, and leave this place so we can destroy that gate. Or you're in for the battle of your life. You call that a threat? That's a joke. You know that? There is nothing left to bring back of the original Egon. Face it, he's gone. And, considering he was so young, worthless. I'm putting this body to better use. But I would be happy to oblige the fight of your life, if you don't mind. Because your lives will be ending soon enough. For the sake of the prophecy! Team Prophecy! Go, my slaves! Rip him to pieces! To battle! Absol! I don't know how you lower lifeforms battle with these things. They're all useless! But they'll have to do for now. Let's go, Pirate! Just because this is an important battle doesn't mean there isn't time for new Pokemon. Pyrat is the captain Pokemon, and a split evolution of the regional variant of Patrat. It's a very hard evolution to get as well, requiring the Pokemon to be leveled up 10 times without fainting. Only then will it evolve into Pyrat instead of Scallyflag. As the name implies, they are the captains of their scurvy crews, commanding legions of Patrat and Scallyflags to do their bidding. They can get a little crazy, but they're remarkably intelligent, able to command their colonies with precision and excellency. In case that isn't enough, however, they have a unique ability called Colony Command, which, once the Pokemon is brought out, it will call upon the rest of its scurvy crew to show the opponent just who's the bigger man. Yeah, sorry about that. No rat poison's gonna be able to take care of this fella now. At worst, the colony's throne form will scare off trainers and smaller Pokemon. But if they have to, Pyrat will command their legion to drown their victims in their own kin. In the end, as their enemies are suffocated by the hordes of Patract, Pyrat will be seen laughing on top of its throne. This Pokemon has a new signature move called Rat Cannon, which launches some of the Patract at the enemy. Though not that strong, it does leave behind lingering damage and prevents the opponent from switching out. The catch being is that it also takes away some of the Pokemon's health, which it needs in order to maintain this form. You manage to get it down to the red, then the Pokemon is all on its own. I guess there's no strength in numbers after all. Ah well, go! Gengar! That's what I get for sticking with a status quo. Ah well, I'll try something a bit more unique now. Your time to shine, Brightergeist! Oh, so that was the Pokemon he had out earlier. Brightergeist is the morning Pokemon, and it's the final evolved form of Paling. If you want it yourself, you can evolve it from Night Mary by exposing it to a moonstone. The countless lonely nights have made the spirit bitter. If disturbed, it will unleash an ear-piercing scream that will shatter the souls of those who hear it. It will not rest until it finds its lost lover, condemning them the way it was condemned by them. These Pokemon gain access to a new signature move called Mournful Wail, a powerful ghost-type move that even hits normal-type Pokemon, so be careful. Ugh! Either these slaves are useless, or this Egon was a pathetic trainer before I took over. No matter. I still have one last trick up my sleeve. Drudiclips, do not disappoint me! Well, this is interesting. A brand new type of Alcemon. I wonder when Egon managed to get this. Anyway, Drudiclips is Project Duality, and a very rare Alcemon created from 3 components instead of 2. The attempt was to create the first gimmick Alcemon, by combining the dark and psychic powers of Umbreon and Espeon with Drudigan's brute strength. The result? Well, not only does the Alcemon show little to no abilities from its evolution counterparts, but its 2 drastically different components are shown clashing with one another, giving the Pokemon violent mood swings and a split personality. On the plus side though, its ability, Alchemy Shift, makes it unique amongst most Alcemon, so it sort of paid off. It still acts a little bit like Alchemy Boost, only when the Pokemon's on the field, it will constantly switch its secondary typing with Dark and Psychic at the end of every turn, similar to Morpeko. So yeah, definitely be careful with this thing. It's one of the toughest Alcemon you've probably faced yet. Well, if you want something done right, you better do it yourself. It's over, whoever you are. Now bring back Egon and stand aside. Whatever you and your colleagues are planning, it won't work. We will stop you. Don't get cocky because you've wiped out all of my slaves. I've told you, old man. The original Egon is gone. There's nothing left to save. You should have helped him while you had the chance. Otherwise, you may have been able to stop me, or at least prolong me from reawakening longer. But it looks like your ignorance was your own doing. Now, you've already repeated your threat, so here's mine.
Leave now, and you may live to survive the new world.
Okay, I think we got away. I don't like leaving just as much as you do, player, but if those stories are true, then I don't want to risk what these monsters could be capable of. Oh, Arceus. Oh, Arceus, what have I done? I'm fine, player. It's just... Who am I kidding? Under all the chaos, under everything that was happening, I should have helped him. I couldn't. If only I had saw this coming. Could I have actually prevented this? Could we have stopped that innocent boy from being taken over by that... monster, Pokemon, Ultra Beast, whatever it was? I promised him I'd try to help him, try to get him some help, and... I failed. That thing is right. I should have done this while I had the chance! But that's the thing about this job, player. Something you're gonna have to accept is that you can't always save everyone. Remember that. Now, we prepare. We end it all. Enough research gathering, enough preserving from the shadows. It's time we meet up with Sarah, and it's time we put an end to this. Professor Nicholas, the Alchemon, Team Prophecy, it all ends. Meet me back at the museum when you're ready, player. It's time we organize a plan to put a stop to this once and for all.